Alright, welcome back to our second test match with Esper Familiars. I'm going to mulligan this hand. I think it's too slow. I don't like having a Dinrovahar in my opening hand, and if I go get Island with Preordained and I miss on a Karoo or a White Source, I'm not going to be able to cast anything. I think the average 6 is better, which, okay, here, the average 6 is much better because, I can use Ash Barrens to just get the Karoo into play, and then, like if I draw like a Preordain or third land, I can use the Chancery to, I can use the Chancery to, use the blue source to float the white, get a land with Ash Barrens, and cast the Sunscape Familiar so I can stay on curve, which is pretty fun. Pretty fun little tidbit when you get right down to it. I don't think I need that this early. I think I'd rather have like another Sunscape Familiar, Nightscape Familiar, anything really. Okay, so it looks like we might be up against some kind of white meanie deck, which again, Stonehorde Dignitary is the man. He is the person we're going to be looking for. Drawing a Reaping the Graves here, not great. Not the best, but hopefully we get somewhere. Alright, and Locathar, not the worst for me to see. So here I could cast the Sunscape Familiar, but I think I get more equity out of just putting the Karoo into play, because now I'll have 2 blue sources, I have a Snap, and I'll be able to go Sunscape Familiar as well. Oh, I messed up there. I could have floated with the Ash Barrens. I forgot. I even talked about it. Oh no, I didn't mention that. I just mentioned, yeah. But I screwed that up. That was an accident. I was looking at my second monitor and was not paying attention. Because I am dumb. It's fine. I just lose out on being able to go Island and Snap. That's about all that I lose on, I think. Nightscape Familiar. Okay. So, I think here what I want to do is go Sunscape. And then I can snap the Loyal Cathar to kind of slow the bleeding a bit. And then I can go Compulsive Research. And, well, I think I can discard 2 cards. I think I can discard both of the black cards since I have another Sunscape Familiar now. And I can go ahead and cycle this and get another Island. Since I discarded 2 of my black cards, and I don't really plan on casting Dinrovahar anytime soon, I think I'm just not going to worry about it. The reason I bounce back the Loyal Cathar is because it takes all of my opponent's mana to recast it and re-equip the Bone Splitter. Oh, well, that's annoying. Alright, well. So I guess here I'm just going to cast Sunscape Familiar again, and then cast another Compulsive Research. I think I can find another Karoo, so I'll just discard this Karoo. Because I think all the other cards in my hand are just better. Next turn I can go Lone Missionary into Impulse or Seagate Oracle. I could cast Mnemonic Wall to get back Snap if I draw a 5th land. That comes into play untapped, which should be really, really helpful. I know one of the cards in my opponent's hand, so that is something. White Weenie, at its core, should really not be that bad of a matchup. Alright, so it looks like my opponent's going to return a land, replay it, and play something else. Another Journey. Well, okay. Well, things just got a bit harder. I mean, you can't really do much when your opponent just draws completely perfect. There just really isn't much that you can do. So I don't have a fear of dying next turn unless my opponent just goes second Bone Splitter, then, what are you going to do? But, I think here my best plan is to go Impulse and just dig 4 cards deep to see where I get. Alright, we see another Sunscape Familiar. I think I have to cast that. I don't have a choice. And I will go to 2, but then I will go back up to 6. And maybe I can find a snap or something. Oh. Oh, man. I have actually never seen a perfectly sequenced game like this. I've actually never seen it. So my opponent went turn 1 Bone Splitter into turn 2 Creature. I went turn 2 Creature. My opponent then perfectly was able to use their mana every turn, drew 2 Journeys and 2 Bone Splitters, and got me down to exactly 0. Man, I don't think I've ever seen such a more perfect game of Magic in my life. It's actually pretty impressive. So we'll bring in the Dignitary, and Prismatic Strands is of course better here than it was against the Infect deck. Lone Missionary again is really not that great. It just doesn't really do all that much. I kind of think you only need 1 Din Rovahara, but I think having 2 is perfectly fine. I think I can go down to maybe 2 Ghostly Flicker on the play. I think I can take out 1 Nightscape Familiar, and I think the Reaping the Graves is probably not going to do anything, because if they have Sunlance, I'll work around that for game 3. So, I'm going to keep this hand. I think I want to go Preordain turn 1 instead of Evolving Wilds, but yeah. I think I'd rather just go Preordain. Alright, well, I'm going to keep both Karus, because I think Karus are going to be really important to me actually, like, winning this game. You can sometimes, you're sometimes able to function with, without Sunscape Familiar or Nightscape Familiar, but it's very rare that you could do that. Go ahead and Preordain again. Opponent went Relic, which is unfortunate, but you can win through it. Demonic Wall and Preordain. Well, Demonic Wall is not going to do anything, but I think Preordain is probably really good. And we have more white things to cast in our deck, so I think it's better to go Zora's Chancery here. Yeah, get that over with. This card is stupidly good. So next turn I can go Preordain it to something. Squadron Hawk. Okay. Now, unfortunately, Snap does not bounce back Relic of Progenitus, but it's really not that. With Stonehorde Dignitary, I can kind of buy time, and if I can catch my opponent tapped out and whatnot, it's not going to be that difficult to deal with it. Okay, so there is a Sunscape Familiar, so we'll go ahead and play that. And I'm going to play this island, but I'm going to leave up Snap. The reason for that is if my opponent goes Journey to Nowhere, I'll snap my guy in response to it being on the stack, so that they have to remove one of their own creatures. Unfortunately, I don't have an Impulse or any other instant in my hand, so when they go Journey here, I won't be able to actually, like, really take advantage of it. I really do need also to, like, filter some cards in my graveyard, or else that Relic is going to make life very difficult for me. But we'll see what happens. We will see what happens. Yep, so there's the Journey, as I expected. Because clearly I am Psychic. Or my opponents just always have it. It's just one of those days. Go ahead and untap both of these lands. Because my opponent doesn't need to cast any spells. That is something that a lot of people miss with Journey to Nowhere as well. A lot of, like, you guys really need to remember that you can respond to it on the stack, and if you have no targets, your opponent has to target their own creature. That is something that I see a lot of players misplay on, and it's definitely something that a lot of you need to really, you know, get back into the groove of. So I'm going to put this Evolving Wilds in the grave to kind of shuffle the Mnemonic Wall, and I think the Din Rovahara, was that this game? No, that was last game. Well, either way, to shuffle the Mnemonic Wall back into my deck, and also to thin a little bit. We'll go ahead and get a Swamp here. We'll play the Preordain. We see Sunscape and Compulsive. We're going to keep both. Play the Sunscape and pass the turn. We're not under any pressure, which is really good, so I can just set up all I want. And the longer the game goes, I think the more it will probably favor me. Does my opponent just have another Journey? Oh no, they're probably going to return their own journey. Alright, fair enough. That's cool, bro. But yeah, the longer the game goes, the more it will probably favor me. Just because of how powerful my deck can be. The Icatian Javelineers will make things a bit difficult, though, considering the fact that it can shoot down one of my Nightscape Familiars. Alright, we're going to get rid of the Preordain. Don't really need that as much as we need the Snap. There's the other Sunscape Familiar. So we'll go ahead and use the black and the white so that we can Compulsive here. And we'll just go ahead and discard a land, which will be the Plains, and then we'll cast Seagate Oracle. And I think we definitely want the Mole Drifter. I think Mole Drifter is probably worth a lot more than anything else. And we'll go ahead and put the black source into play in case we draw Din Rovahar. I think Mole Drifter is probably just more rewarding than Compulsive Research. I could easily be wrong, but we will see. So there's the Journey and another Hawk. Okay. And I'm guessing equipped to Core Skyfisher. Oh, equipped to the Hawk, sure. That is a legal play. No, please attack. Come on. Damn it. Oh, man. I got excited there. I thought my opponent was going to attack me with that Icatian Javelineer. Yay. Goodbye, Plains. We hardly knew you. Ooh, another Sunscape. Alright, well, we'll play that one for sure. And then we'll go ahead and play out this Mole Drifter. Drew a Snap. That's really good. Could play Island and snap my Mole Drifter. We don't really need to keep up the Prismatic Strands yet, I don't think. Let's see. No, I would say there's a really good chance I don't need to. I think I'm just going to play this Karoo and bounce back the island and just have as much mana next turn as possible. So, there's no point in not attacking with Seagate Oracle, I think. I highly doubt my opponent's going to attach his Bone Splitter to Icatian Javelineer, so I don't really see the point in not attacking. Okay. You know, I really do love my cats, but, man, they like to make trouble. So, I already have a Snap here. I guess I could just leave the... I think it's better if I leave the Compulsive Research in the graveyard. I probably should have brought in Deep Analysis, but I didn't think I needed it on the play. So, we'll see how I feel about that in Game 3. If we make it to Game 3, I suppose. Yeah... I think I'll block. No, I don't need to block. I'd rather keep the Mole Drifter, I think. So I'll go ahead and take, was it 6? Yep. Opponent only 3 cards in hand, so that's good. 4 mana. Guardian of the Guild Pact, okay. Pretty old school type of list here. Very interesting. Equip the Bone Splitter to the, yep. So that I can't actually attack with the Sunscape, with the Seagate Oracle. Okay, so there's Mnemonic Wall. So I can now play Mnemonic Wall and try to force the issue on my opponent's Relic of Progenitus, and I think that's probably my best plan here to start off with. So we'll go ahead and do that. I need to pay one more, sure. And then I think I'll play the Stonehorn Dignitary and see if my opponent reacts. Okay, so my opponent is going to pop the Relic. So that could very well mean that my opponent has another Relic in hand, which would be a pain in the tuchus, but there isn't much I can do about that. So we'll go ahead and play the Stonehorn Dignitary, and then I'll attack with Mole Drifter in the air, since I'm not going to be blocking with it anyway. Go ahead and attack with 2, and then pass the turn. Not attacking with the Seagate Oracle, of course, because it could just get blocked by the Guardian, so that wouldn't really do anything. So I can return Journey to Nowhere? Probably to take my mnemonic wall. That's exactly what it's going to do. That is fine with me. Or I guess they could take the Stonehorde Dignitary, but they'll probably take Mnemonic Wall. Nope, they took the Dignitary. That's fine with me. I do have 2 Prismatic Strands in my hand, so I can fog for another 4 turns if I need to. Okay, so no other Relic. I think that was kind of an aggressive Relic of Progenitus then. Because I could have just gone Compulsive Research and then they Relic after I've already researched. Okay, so let's go ahead and thin my deck for Ash Barrens. Get an island. We're not going to play the island yet, just in case we draw a Karoo. And I'm not attacking, so... Do I have infinite mana here, actually? Hold on. Oh, Control Z, right. There we go. So, this costs 2. Right? So if I snap back my Mnemonic Wall, I get to untap... No, I don't have... I don't think I have, I don't think I can go infinite blue mana. Let's see. If I snap, then I'm floating a blue, a black... Well, I guess I could just waste my time and do it, so it doesn't really make a difference. And see what happens. I could literally just sit here and waste my time for a bit. And then... This costs 2... No, I don't have infinite mana, I don't think. I don't think that gives me infinite. Yes. I think for it to be infinite, this has to be only 1 mana. Right? Because if it's 1 mana, then I get to... Tap, float 2 blue... No, I guess I can never do that because it costs blue. Yeah, okay, whatever. So... We'll just go ahead and snap my Mole Drifter back and then recast it. Leaving, I guess, a black and a white open, because why not? Well, that works out. So... I guess here we'll just draw some cards real quick. Get back Ghostly Flicker. Yes. Ah, there we go. Okay, so let's go ahead and play this island here. And we'll go ahead and play this Dinrova Horror. I guess bouncing back Journey, since we don't really need to do anything else for now. And get back my Stonehorde Dignitary to stop my opponent from being able to do anything. And then I guess I can just leave up Ghostly Flicker twice. And pass the turn. And then, starting next turn, I can just start to bounce back all of my opponent's creatures. The cool thing about this is that this is protection from monocolored, not multicolored. I think the black version of Guardian is the one that's protection from multicolored, so that's pretty interesting. Alright. My opponent's not going to recast Journey. Or I guess they're just seeing if they can attack. No, they're not going to recast Journey. Well, I don't think my opponent has anything that can do at instant speed, so I guess I'll just do this. Alright, we'll just go ahead. My opponent should have at least 1 Squadron Hawk in hand, I think. Unless they sideboarded 1 out. Alright, so there goes Guardian. Go ahead and bounce this back now. And get back. Yes, of course, this is the problem with playing this deck online, is you have to do this, and it gives you flashbacks of, yeah, there's the Squadron Hawk. It gives you flashbacks of, you know, Peregrine Drake. So I'm just going to go ahead and bounce back all of my opponent's creatures. Yes. That's you. think my opponent's just sitting here and wasting my time, because I'm pretty sure the game is just over if they're not going to actually do anything. Go ahead and do this. Bounce you back. And we'll leave up Ghostly Flicker. We don't need to actually bounce back the Acacian Javelin here. We'll just attack with everything. Okay, they're just shooting me. Cool. Attack with all creatures. Hit you for 4. And pass the turn. Alright, so there's a journey. That's cool. So we'll go ahead and flicker these guys. And I guess we can bounce back this Bone Splitter, since why the hell not? Since Ghostly Flicker is just such a great magic card. Discard a card, please. Get Sir or Madam. And yep. It's another one. Okay. Alright, another journey. That's cool. Go ahead and flicker this guy again. And bounce back, I guess, this Acacian Javelin now. Might as well. See what they discard. Yep. And now I can F6, just in case I don't have F8 turned on, which I'll just turn on now. Oh wow, they have a third journey? Oh no, they have a Force Skyfisher to return a journey. I mean, it's not going to do anything because they can't actually recast it, but, you know. Okay, let's go ahead and attack with everybody that isn't Wall Drifter. Because I get in more damage this way, attacking with a 4/4 than a 2/2. Or rather than a 2/2, I should say. Alright. And then we'll go ahead and flicker again. Bounce back you. Get back you. Yes. And I don't actually need to cast anything else, so I'm just going to play this Azorius Chancery and pick up the island and pass. What you, a big thing you want to do with this deck is you want to make sure you watch your clock and you want to mitigate how many things you actually have to do. So keep that in mind. So I think this is going to work the way I want. I'm going to bounce back the Secluded Step so that my opponent doesn't actually have a way to... yeah, okay. My opponent doesn't actually have a way to... whatchamacallit, cycle it later on if they want to. Alright, so we'll go ahead and attack for 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, which... oh, my opponent's at 8. I actually didn't notice that. And move on to game 3. Yeah, so 1 relic is sometimes not really enough. What you really need is, like, 2 relics and stuff like that. As far as what to do for game 3, I didn't see Sunland, so that's not something I have to worry about. I kind of want to bring in the Deep Analysis, but since they have Relic, I guess it's really not as good as Compulsive Research or anything like that. I still think that only 2 Ghostly Flickers is necessary. I don't think I need the third one. Dispel doesn't do anything. I still don't think I need the third Nightscape Familiar, and again, Reaping the Graves doesn't really do much, so we're just going to go right back into it. Alright, I'm going to keep this hand because I can still just go turn 1 Barrenmoor, cycle it. Okay. If that was a whatchamacallit, a Acacian Javelin, I was going to be a little upset. But yeah. Okay, wow, it's cracking the clue already. My opponent's getting aggressive. Alright. Ooh. Actually, that seems much better. So we'll go ahead and Demir Aqueduct. And I think with the Ash Barrens, I still want to get a second blue source, just because I want to be able to cast more blue spells. We have to discard a card now. I guess I can discard Ghostly Flicker. If my opponent has an early relic and wants to play it and crack it, they are more than welcome to. Makes it easier for me to not have to actually play around the damn card. Core Skyfisher, return your 1-2. Replay the 1-2. Snap, huh? Well, Snap's pretty good. So we'll go ahead and play Nightscape Familiar. And then I think I'll go ahead and actually just snap back this Core Skyfisher. So I can go Preordain, keep both of these, and then cycle this, and then go Impulse at the end of turn. That seems good. The reason I did that is to slow my opponent down, since my hand is kind of slow. Oh, they do have Sunlance. Well, that's a bit of a pain in the tuchus. Well, there's the Plains. I don't really need that. I will, however, take Stonehorn Dignitary, since that is the best card against my opponent's deck. Unfortunately, we are putting a Sunscape Familiar to the bottom, but hopefully I can mitigate that. So, it looks like I'm going to take one. I guess my opponent F6 by accident? They're not going to play Core Skyfisher and replay? No, they are. Okay. Yeah, that was a bit interesting. My opponent almost made a mistake there. A swamp. Okay, well, it doesn't really help. Let's go Preordain. Another Snap, however, that does help a lot. I still don't think I'm going to do it this turn, though. I think I'm just going to leave Snap up and pass the turn. Because now, next turn, what I can do is I can go Sunscape Familiar, Snap your dude, and cast Moldrifter, I think, in the same turn if I don't want to cast Stonehorn Dignitary. Alright, and cycle. Okay, so I'm going to take 5 and go to 12. Ooh, that's really good. Alright, we'll go Sunscape Familiar. And actually, I'll just go Compulsive Research here, leaving up Snap. Oh, hello. Right, discard the swamps, I don't really need it. And just pass the turn. And I'm just going to leave up Snap here, since I know my opponent has a Journey. Or that. That's interesting. Why play that over White Mane Lion? Oh, I guess because it's a May, so you don't actually have to do it. And Squadron Talk. Okay, cool. My opponent does not have a Journey, so I can do whatever the hell I want. So we're going to take 5 here, which is unfortunate, but I get to block the Thraben Inspector. I think I should know the last card in my opponent's hand. No, I don't know the last card in my opponent's hand. My opponent only got 2 Hawks, though, so could mean that my opponent is bluffing and has the 3rd Hawk in their hand, but is they're bluffing and they don't have 3rd Hawk in their hand or something like that, or they want me to make me believe that they do. Not exactly sure. Ash Barrens, huh? Okay. So play the Sunscape. They're F6ing, so I think we can evoke Moldrifter. Snap it back. Oh, Prismatic Strand's cool. Snap it back. Get these bad boys untapped. Play the island. And then I think... let's see. I kind of want to leave up Prismatic Strands just in case. Or I could just play Stonehorn Dignitary this turn, since it's the most mana. So yeah, I think we'll do that. Leaving up some blue. Leaving up a blue, I guess I should say. And then we'll go ahead and play Seagate Oracle. Take Compulsive, and we'll go ahead and Compulsive. And I think I'll just pitch the Evolving Wilds, since Ash Barrens could be an untapped land if I needed to. Alright, opponent's going to crack some clues. We drew another snap, which is really, really good. And they just tapped out for a bone splitter. Okay, that's cool. Alright, we go Nightscape, just start off with that. Seems really good too. Go Preordain. Don't need any of these. Another island. Okay, well, I guess we'll play the island. Had I known I was going to draw land, I would have just kept the crew. Let's see, what's in my graveyard? Oh, I have Ghostly Flicker in my graveyard. I totally forgot about that. Okay, so we'll go ahead and play this Mnemonic Wall, which, oh, unfortunately is 2 mana. Okay, so then in that case, we'll snap my Seagate Oracle back. Untap some lands. Go Mnemonic Wall. Get back Flicker. Yes. Go ahead and Flicker you once. Yes. And then I guess we could play Mole Drifter. And pass the turn, just leave up Flicker, just in case my opponent has a Journey. Okay, so they're going to crack their clue. Really just need Dinrova Horror now, which we've pushed so many cards to the bottom. It's why I'm so reluctant to actually cycle the Ash Barrens. Okay, so Acacian Javelin here doesn't really do much, because I can just Flicker in response to him poking. And at the end of turn, I'm going to go Ghostly Flicker and just draw some cards. I think that's better than going Flicker the Stonehorn Dignitary for now. So I'll just do that now to save some time. And always heal. Yes. Yes. Even though for some reason it doesn't really seem to want to work. Still not cycling the Ash Barrens. Another snap, huh? Okay. So let's go ahead and play Mole Drifter. Gotta find Stonehorn Dignitary eventually. Okay, we'll play another Mole Drifter. There it is. So now I guess since I actually want more Karus, I'll just go ahead and go sack the Evolving Wilds to put an island into play. And then I guess I think I want to leave up Snap, so I'll just do this for now. Yes. And we'll go ahead and pass the turn, which allows me to put some Prismatic Strands in the grave. I actually want to keep the island in my hand, just in case. If I don't draw a Karoo next turn, I think I'd rather keep the island in my hand. I just want as many blue sources now as possible so I can Flicker as many times as I so need to. So I have 2 Ghostly Flickers and Snap in my hand, so my opponent should really not be able to deal with anything that I do. Alright, another Hawk, that's cool. And a Guardian. Okay, well, time to have some fun. So we'll go ahead and snap back one of my opponent's creatures, just to give me less clicks with my Dinrova Horror, and then we'll go ahead and Ghostly Flicker this guy a bunch of times so I don't have to worry about it. Yes. Don't really need to draw any more cards. We have all the cards we will ever need. Get back Ghostly Flicker. Yes. Sure. Alright, play the island. And play Dinrova Horror. And soon enough that will be the game. Go ahead and bounce back the most expensive card. Go ahead and Flicker. Bounce back, I guess, you. Interesting enough, my opponent is keeping, keeping cards in their hand. They're discarding these, which is interesting. No, there goes the 4th Hawk. So I guess they did draw the 4th Hawk at the time. And we'll go ahead and bounce back their Flyers. There isn't really a reason that I'm keeping the Karoo up, other than just because it's a Karoo, so it might make my opponent think I have a white spell to cast at instant speed. And we'll go ahead and flicker. And then I'm going to bounce back the Acacian Javelin here. I think my opponent can actually use it, now that I think about it. Which is unfortunate, because I forgot about it. I really did. Oh, they're just poking me. Okay, well that works out. Because I actually forgot all about that thing being usable. So that's funny. We'll go ahead and attack for... not with you and not with you. I'm going to attack for 6 in the air, since my opponent can't attack with Squadron Hawk anyway. And we'll leave up Ghostly Flicker. There's, other than just thinning out the deck, or shuffling cards we've pushed to the bottom, there isn't really a point in using the Evolving Wilds anymore, because I don't have any more islands left in the deck, I don't believe. So, yep. Get to return that, get another clue, dig a bit deeper. And Journey's not going to matter anymore. Sunlance also does not do anything. I mean, it just kills a Mole Drifter, or it kills this, if I don't want to flicker them. Sure. So, yeah. I mean, I can just win the game now with Din Rovahar, so there, I can just let a Mole Drifter go to the grave. It's not really a big deal. And another Sunlance. Okay, that one I will save, since my opponent's tapped out. And because I'd actually like to win this game in a timely fashion. Yep. Okay, so let's go ahead and do some flickering. Flicker back you. Flicker back you. The real crux of this card, I guess, is I'll use that word, is this makes your opponent discard cards. That's the real, like, nail in the coffin, is that your opponent has to discard cards when you bounce stuff back. Okay. Oh. Damn. Okay, so... Okay. So yeah, you don't really have infinite mana to work with. I think you can compulsive somebody out, but I'm not sure at all whatsoever. You'd have to ask 420 Dragon about that. I am just not the person to ask. Okay, well we'll just go ahead and just get this over with now. Bounce you back, get that Ghostly Flicker. Yes. F6. Now the Storm Dignitaries on the body to add to the board. We'll go ahead and attack for a bunch. So they block here. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Dang. One off. Oh, never mind. They are conceding the game, which is cool. So that's good. So I like this deck a lot. I think it's a lot of fun. But then again, you have to ask yourself, like, what makes this deck better than, like, Dinrovatron? You know, like, why should you play this deck? I think a big reason to play this deck is at some point during the game, almost against any opponent, if you construct your sideboard correctly and, you know, you draw like your deck's supposed to, you could effectively just not be able to lose against Burn, gaining infinite life, or you can effectively not be able to lose against red decks. Like, the Stonehorde Dignitary combo with Mnemonic Wall is just a backbreaker against Stompy, Infect, let's see, what else? Slivers, the variations of White Weenie, even red deck wins, really, if you're out of burn range, can just be backbreaking, because you also have Reaping the Graves to get back your creatures and whatnot. So your matchup against Control is pretty bad. But now I've seen, we saw 420 Dragon in the Community Pauper Challenge beat Ulu Guru, who's on Affinity, but then he lost to Kung Fu Trees, and he, just last night lost to Mikey Ruru on Red Deck Wins, and he just, He just got demolished by red deck wins. He was just not quick enough. And against Kung Fu Trees with his patented blue-red Delver deck, the blue-red Delver deck just had too much removal, too many counterspells, and was just able to pick away for too long. The thing is that this deck needs to do three things. It needs to develop its mana base, it needs to dig enough through its deck to set up, and it needs to keep its familiars and its mnemonic all on the table. If you disrupt either any of these plans, if you're able to keep the familiars off the board, if you are able to disrupt their mana base early enough that you can just take them out as an aggro deck, if you are able to stop them from drawing cards and making them have to live off top of their deck, that could mean the end for this deck. And it's kind of just that easy. So, do I think you should play this deck? I think if you're going to, you need to practice with it a lot. You need to get your sideboard correct. I think this is not exactly the greatest sideboard, but 420 Dragon is certainly a better player than me, and he's certainly a better player with this deck than I am. So you shouldn't take my word for it. But do I think you should play this deck? I think you could try it. I don't think you're going to 5-0 as much as you want. I think you'll be able to 3-2 quite a bit. I think you might be able to pull off some 4-1s. But I think if you're looking for a better deck, I think Dinrovatron might just be better if you're looking for like a combo-esque Dinrova horror deck like that. I think the blue-black kind of like, Archaeomancer, Shivering Rats deck, I've seen some of them incorporate Dinrova horror. I think those decks are a bit better suited for the meta. So take that for what you will. Again, my word is not gospel. That's just my opinion. But I still own the words that I say, so I think you can play this deck, but I don't know if you should expect too many good results. But that's going to do it for me here. Thank you again so much for watching. Please check out puremtgo.com. They have tons of great articles from tons of great writers, all better than myself. Please remember to check out the Community Pauper Challenge. We are going into week 4 as these videos get posted, where they'll be changing to new decks. If you want to follow us, you can follow us at twitch.tv/communitypauperchallenge. Also, a big thanks and a big shout out to Deluxikoff for making such great graphics. I suggest you go follow him. He's always a good wealth of information. I believe that he is Pauperganda on Twitch and YouTube, so go check him out. And also, if you want to go check out ZMagic94, my friend Zane, because he is a variety Magic streamer, but he also sometimes streams other games. He's working real hard at it. He's trying his best. And then if you check the Community Pauper Challenge Twitch page, if you go below the stream window, you will see a follow us link, and also our link to the Weebly website, where you can check out everyone's deck list. You can see everyone's YouTube or Twitch, whatever they have under the follow us thing. So again, thanks everybody for watching. I hope you guys have a great day, and I'll see you guys later.